Hi, this is a foreigner in the Philippines. Well, it's the end of the evening again, and we're actually looking at some thoughts at the end of the day. One of the things that I see often in messages that we get, the private messages that you send, well, I see letters concerning people with their plans for moving out here, starting a new life. And apart from the important things about getting a cat, which is what is disturbing the camera right now. Can you go away? So, and that's the cat's butt. No butts there. Anyway, one of the things that I see the most commonly is about a plan for moving out here. And what people seem to think the most about is packing up suitcases, buying a place, what the price of property is, all of these are all tremendously practical things. But I don't find that that is the be and end all of having a happy life. So this video is about how to achieve, in my opinion, some of the most important ingredients of having a happy life in whatever country that you go to. Now, this is made much easier nowadays because of the internet. And it's possible to actually make contact with people in the country that you are planning on doing. In fact, if you're watching this video with the intention of getting information, that's what you're doing. You're making contact with me. And you can do that a multiple of times. You can go to many expat sites. You can go to many sites that are run by people simply talking about how life is with them. Go to their blogs, you can go to their vlogs. I always find it difficult to say that word, vlog. But anyway, you can go to those for information. And you can find out a lot of the information that you really need. Maybe about the price of property, whether it's abundant. Somebody said to me today, is there a lot of property for sale in the north of Bohol? Well, I'm not an estate agent. I'm not a real estate agent. I don't know. And I would hazard a guess that 80% of the people that you would speak to don't know. So don't rely on friends whose job is not real estate to tell you information which you can rely on. The one person that you can rely on when you're judging about real estate is you. Now, how do you get to know this information? I think that the most sensible thing to do is to get yourself out here. So, if you have an idea of where you want to go, then you can go home and you can do what I've suggested before. You can get your balikbayan boxes. You can put all the stuff in there that you would really prefer not to throw away or give away, sell for cents on the dollar. And you can pack it all up and you can get it ready to go. 2 months before you leave, you can send it off. But that would all depend on you having been out here. So part of your big investment for moving your life to another country, part of that investment should be in spending a month or so in some of the areas that you would like to go. And as I think I've said, if you are not moving into the area where your spouse's family live, then you could move anywhere. Well, look at the weather patterns. Look at how weather treats the various places that you go. What's hot? What's cool? What's a huge tourist attraction? If it's a huge tourist attraction, you can certainly bet, and I'm not real estate, as I said, you can certainly bet that property is going to be more expensive. Now, you have to ask yourself, what kind of lifestyle are you looking for? And we've also dealt with this on another video, so there's no need to go into all that again. What I wanted to focus on this time is how important it is to come into the midst of a good support group. Now, what's a good support group? A Good support group can include family. It can include friends. So, how do you survive? When you go to any country, whether it's the country that you're in or whether it's the country you want to move into, how do you survive? You survive in terms of, one, you survive in terms of yourself. How happy are you? How adjusted are you to where you're going to go? How comfortable do you feel financially, physically? All of those things. You. It's about you. Think of when you get on an aircraft and it tells you that if the aircraft decompresses, then the oxygen masks will drop down in front of you, and if you're with somebody who is not capable of helping themselves, like a child, do you help them first? No, you don't. You help yourself. You help yourself so that you are surviving and you can then help others around you. So, look at your own survival. None of it is any good, none of it's worth a damn if you're not happy. So, but now, what makes you happy? Well, we'll assume that the next thing outwards is the very next thing person to you. And that's the one whose skin you touch at night when you go to sleep. If you roll over in the night and you touch someone, that's who is important in your life next. So you need them to be happy too. And you need to be happy with that person. Because I think the Bible says it's better to live on the roof than live with an argumentative partner. I'm paraphrasing the partner. It actually says wife. So you need to be happy with that person. Okay, now what makes them happy? Well, if they really, really want to live in the vicinity of their family, then you have to look at that. Now, after that, what is next? Well, family also includes children. So if you have children or there are children in your life, that's an important part too. So you're going to have to look at schools, you're going to have to look at facilities for kids, how they're going to do. All of these things are like the concentric circles in the pebble that is thrown in the pond, and then the concentric circles are those circles that actually move out from the center, which is you. So, now that you've sorted out yourself, your own happiness, your own feeling of contentment that you've made the right move, the right move for you was the right move for your partner, so now you have a happy unit, and the children either that you are going to have, and if you're a late starter, a second chance over 50 or even maybe older. Heaven above, anybody should be older than that. But anyway, you may want to start again, because possibly if you've moved out to the Philippines, you will have married someone who is younger than yourself by a long way, and children are very important to a Filipina. Better get used to that. So let's assume that you've met those requirements. You've got yourself, you've got your wife, you've got possibly children. Now, extended family. Family, which is also included in the second part, because that's family, is extended family. How do you get along with them? Now, in some cases, I've heard that people are much, much happier if they're not connected to the extended family, and that includes the Filipina as well. And they give help when they're asked to, and sorry, that was a little blackout for a moment. They give help when they're asked to, when they're required to, and they meet their responsibilities in that way. But they're actually more comfortable if they don't have family calling in on them every day. Right, so now, friends. Now, personally, I don't want to live in an expat community. I don't want it. It doesn't interest me. Call me a snob or call me whatever you like. Join the club. People are calling me a lot of things. So, it's not what I want. But I do want to be able to speak in my own language simply because I'm too lazy at the moment to learn the language of the nation, which we'll get to in a moment. So, what kind of expat, what kind of like-minded people have you got around you? Now, I've been fortunate enough. I have people that I actually enjoy the company of, and so does my wife. And it works. So that's my support group. And I think that that's important. And I think that you might well feel that it's important too. Until you get to go to the next part of the plan, which is learning the language, then your support group will probably be English or whatever language you speak group. So, this all comes into where you're going to live and how you're going to live. And then you'll start to have a rewarding, productive life. What can you do if you get in a jam? Can you ask somebody to come over and give you a jump start on your car? Is there anybody who knows how to pay land taxes? Who do you ask? There are people who are here and have been here for a while who will be able to answer those questions for you. And then, of course, you've always got the internet, and you can find out all kinds of information from the internet, as we all do. So, it's more than just buying a property. So when you've got all of that in, and you've come out here and you've found a place that you like, then find out what the proper procedure is for buying a place. And don't do this, don't find this information out from friends. Don't find it out from family. Don't find it out from Filipinos, British, American, whatever. Don't, because things are changing all the time. Find a good realtor, find a good attorney, find someone that you can trust, and get the information that's right hot off the press. And right now, especially in the Philippines, things are changing, and they're changing generally, I think, for the better, unless you're a drug dealer and providing a lot of people for a lot of drugs. Better order your casket now, I think. Anyway, so you need to do these things, and when you've satisfied yourself that you're actually going to get the note, you're going to get all the paperwork signed, and you're going to try to do all of that, and then you have your property, and then that's when you start to really move in. But you'll have help. Like if I really need to, I can find someone who knows how to plumb in the pump at a well, and I can find someone who can help me to do that. If I need to find someone who's helped to, say, repair my car, I can find somebody, and possibly an expat will tell me, well, I had my car done by Nestor, the guy that's near the crossroads in Taliban. And I go down, I speak to Nestor. Well, my friend takes me down there, as happened, and he says, this is Terence, and he needs you to work on his car. So, that's what happens there. Now, if you've made your choices right, and it usually is about choices, and you picked a piece of land that has water, that has access to water, where things will grow, where relationships will grow, because it's all about growth, where family are near but not too near, where friends are near but not too near, where all of those things matter, and you feel this is important, that you can help in the community, that you can find ways where your presence will produce changes that people will welcome. Now, if you can fulfill those conditions, I would say you have a very good chance of being healthy, wealthy, and wise. This is a